Hello, I'm Marydee Ojala, Editor-in-Chief of KMWorld Magazine and Program Director for our Enterprise Search and Discovery Conference. So I've been thinking recently about the relationship between content and search. So high content quality, and that includes things like metadata and tagging, that's really key to the effective usability of enterprise search. And that is true for multiple business use cases. But what I've found is that these writing for the web type training for content authors, they don't focus as much, if really at all, on the elements of findability that can be embedded into the content. So I'm thinking here of things like making sure that content authors use the right business terminology and language, that they include certain words and phrases with enough frequency and proximity to each other so that the search engine algorithms can really provide relevant results, which is, of course, the whole object of the exercise. So to discuss this and more, I have joining me today Lynette Ledoux, Customer Success and Search Specialist at SearchUnify. SearchUnify is a unified cognitive platform that helps businesses overcome self-service and support challenges and achieve their goals. They offer a suite of products that sit on a cognitive search platform powered by machine learning and artificial intelligence. Their tools facilitate knowledge management and sharing, content creation, content findability, support agent operational efficiency, agent collaboration, issue escalation management, capturing voice of the customer, and self-service success. So they also offer a robust suite of analytics to shape their clients' strategic planning and reporting. So Lynette, one thing that never fails to surprise me when I am interacting with enterprises and organizations that are implementing enterprise search, a lot of people think search engines are some kind of magic. It's this wonderful black box and you put in stuff and boy, everything you ever wanted to know comes right back to you. So I've been in search for a while, and I can reliably tell you that that's not the way it works. Enterprise search engines, regardless how good they are, regardless of what features and functionality they have, really, to make the magic work, it takes really good content, quality content behind the scenes. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this and any customer examples that you'd like to share.
Yeah, thank you, Marydee. I mean, I can totally identify with people, wanting search to be a magic bullet, but as you said, that's just not the way it works. All of our clients are SaaS companies themselves. They produce content to support the sales, usage, troubleshooting of their specific product lines. Often teams aren't collaborating when they're producing this content, so like different teams are own different types of content. And because of this, like you said, they're not aligning on vocabulary. You mentioned the voice of the customer. The voice of the customer may or may not be present in the content. And the metadata, some content might have it, some might not. And, the content sources that do, it's probably going to be inconsistent. Producing content, in silos, as it were, isn't necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, but we often find that when this is happening, reports start coming in of tech support agents or customers saying, hey, I have gone to all of these different places and done all of these different searches, and I still can't find what I need. So that is a bad thing. That is a bad customer experience. To fix it, When you're talking to your leadership, you might have to connect the dots. What it means for customers is increased effort, decreased satisfaction, and decreased loyalty. And for agents, it negatively impacts their KPIs. First contact resolution is low, time to resolution is high, and abandonment rate is also high.
Well, isn't that kind of the promise of a federated search solution? Once you bring these content silos together, doesn't that solve the problem of findability?
I mean, sure, kind of. Like, I mean, putting everything together or surfacing everything in one place certainly decreases effort, but a lot more than just funneling all information into one place goes into findability. As we said, consistent vocabulary is important. Like the presence or absence of metadata is important. I have a good example. I was talking to my kids about this pretty recently. We stream our music through Spotify. I have a subscription, so I have a named account. And pretty recently, we decided to play with a kind of newish, 2023 AI feature called the Spotify DJ. It's Gen AI. It's powered by OpenAI, which is who powers ChatGPT. So the DJ has a human voice, and it is, spinning songs just like a top 40 DJ, except the DJ is actually playing songs for you. It is a personalized experience. My kids kind of freaked out when we launched the DJ and it said, "Hey, Lynette, I know that you love rock and roll and trad country from the 50s and 60s, so I've got one for you." They were like, "Whoa!" Like, how does he know your name? How does he know you like that? And how does he? Well, because he has access to consistently labeled data, and not only consistently labeled data, he has access to my data. So I create lots of playlists for my friends and myself. And then again, because I have a subscription, like he can also see just the history of songs that I play apart from my playlist. What are playlists except for folders? And what's inside the folders are songs, but the songs are digital files. Files have fields. The fields are artist, title, and genre, say. These fields are consistently labeled, which is exactly why when users go searching for different songs, they get a hit. And also exactly why when you select a song to play, it, the title and artist, at least, oftentimes the genre, displays song after song when you're playing it. This is what Gen AI relies on to do what it does, to find content, to deliver personalized results, and to make accurate predictions. So when I launched the DJ, it looks at my history, it looks at all my playlists, and it looks at whatever other pool of content it has access to, and makes selections according to whatever parameters the algorithm tells it to. I noticed that that first time that we played with it, the first song it picked was actually a song directly from one of my playlists. The second song it picked was a cover of a song from one of my playlists. So same title, a different artist. And the third song, I didn't remember ever streaming it on Spotify, but it was right in the pocket of the same kind of genres that I generally go to. The DJ will also tell you, "Hey, I'm going to change it up a little bit, to kind of broaden your horizons. But if ever you don't like my selection, then you can, it was like click the DJ button or something like that. This is a data point that feeds the algorithm. If the DJ goes in a direction that I don't like and I click that button, probably that song will be removed from the pool of songs that, that the DJ can choose from. Or maybe even if the DJ like goes way off and selects like a different genre that I'm not into, that entire genre may be removed.
I get your point about personalization and about consistency, and that those are important. And indeed, I totally agree. I guess my question is, whose responsibility is that? You have a personal relationship with your Spotify, but when we're talking about enterprise search, it's a much broader set of content and a much broader user base.
Yeah, and a lot more specific to the use cases of the business. Yeah, I mean, I totally get that. The magic of the Spotify DJ is facilitated by the fact that the employees of Spotify probably didn't have to go in and manually label all of these files, right? These songs have been digitized for decades. Multiple vendors use them and stream them. There are lots of eyes on them. If songs happen to be missing labels or labels are incorrect, then there's ample opportunity to fix them. But yeah, that's not the case with enterprise knowledge. The companies are creating content specific to their products. As we said before, the teams aren't necessarily collaborating. And so that produces an inconsistent experience, which is kind of the total opposite of the Spotify DJ experience. Teams that are doing their due diligence and labeling content with, say, the product of an enterprise, maybe doing so with like the most up-to-date product name that there is, or they may be using like a legacy product name and just never got around to changing it to the updated product name, or they may be using an acronym. Some teams may be consistently using content type like how-to or troubleshooting. Others may not. Some teams may be really trying to categorize like issue types or kind of sections of the customer journey that where that will be most applicable for the usage of the product. That's great, but if they're not coordinating, probably they're using different vocabulary to describe the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So how do you solve this challenge for your customers?
Well, we saw it happening over and over. So we created a set of content tools to help automate what would otherwise be a manual process of content managers having to apply a consistent taxonomy across multiple content sources, possibly thousands of assets. Our content tools are powered by machine learning. They work together to, again, automate the process. Admins have to go to their different content teams, stakeholders, and get agreement on a consistent taxonomy. Once they have that, they can go into the SearchUnify admin panel and enter the taxonomy there, then go on into content sources and actually map the taxonomy to the various content sources, the objects within the content sources. So like an example of an object inside of Salesforce would be Salesforce knowledge articles, and then fields on the objects as well. They're just saying, hey, SearchUnify, look at all of these different places to try to find this taxonomy label, to find either a match for it or a synonym for it, because we also give our admins the opportunity to input synonyms. And then if you find that, then tag it with that appropriate label. So once the annotation is done, they can even set taxonomy as groups of facets or filters within their communities or support portals, wherever they're surfacing content.
So from your perspective, what's the real advantage for using taxonomy as a search filter?
I mean, how many times have you gone into a help site and it's been like this long list of inexplicable facets?
Yes, been there, done that. Yes.
Yeah, me too. I don't feel like I should have to take several seconds to decide whether selecting a facet is going to produce more relevancy within the results that I see before me. No one should have to. It's a customer ease thing. You want limiting labels makes the experience better. It makes the user interface more friendly. It makes the filtering more understandable. And that, worst case, if you have this long list of filters that the customers don't identify with, then they run the risk of filtering themselves out of relevant content. Because if you just going back to the product example, and some have acronyms, some have the updated product name, some have legacy names. Those are all attached to the particular content sources. So if somebody selects throw a dart, okay, this acronym looks good, and then they perform a search, they may not get a hit because the content that they actually need isn't within the content source that's associated with that acronym.
What's been the reaction from your customer base, your clients, on this feature?
Oh, I mean, they love it. Yeah, I mean,
Yay, yay,
yeah.
yay.
Just the just the prospect of saving them hours, days, weeks of doing this manual work is super exciting to them. And to be honest and kind of ironically, they've reported that the heaviest lift is actually getting their teams to agree on the common
Really?
taxonomy.
Really? That's fascinating. Wow. Okay. So, Lynette, how can our audience learn some more about this?
Well, you can go to searchunify.com and request a demo or a free trial. You can also contact me directly, connect with me on LinkedIn, or email me at lynette.ledoux@grazidi.com.
Super. Well, thanks so much for your time, Lynette. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Sure.